Now, the black people, of course, is going to be on her side and support her when she went through that. They said the whole mayor's son. She said that Candace's life was threatened. How do you go from having that kind of experience to morph into what Candace is today? I don't understand that. And
What's up, family? What's up, family? Greetings, greetings, my brothers and sisters. Today, I'm going to be answering a question from a real popular brother from a news channel called African Diaspora News Channel. If you're not familiar with it, go check it out. It's called the African Diaspora News Channel. They got some real good stuff over there. And he was actually doing a video based on Candace Owens and her civil rights lawsuit that she had brought against, I think, a particular city in 2007. Yeah, I think it was about 2007. So that's what he's doing. He's trying to basically get an understanding on why Candace Owens changed the way she, how she see things, how she go from fighting a actual civil rights case and WACP was involved with it and everything. How do you go from that to this? How do you go from somebody was racist towards me and I'm bringing a lawsuit to actually now becoming a person that says that race is not an issue, racism doesn't matter? You know what I'm saying? Racism don't exist. White lives matter. You know what I'm saying? And fighting against the black agenda, fighting against Black Lives Matter and, things that are important to black people. How do you go from doing this to doing that? And that's the question that the brother asked as I showed you the little clip in the video. And I can easily answer that. See, a lot of people don't understand that when you lay down to have sex with somebody, that's a spiritual thing. You know that, right? See, a lot of people think it's just sex or we just had sex. No, you just shared spirits with that person. This is the reason why men that cheat a lot and women that cheat a lot can't stop cheating because they have all these cheating spirits on them. It is the actual fact that when you have sex with somebody, it is a spiritual encounter. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people really don't know that. And what it is when these, black men and black women lay down in bed with these white people, they pick up what I call that white supremacy spirit. So when you lay down with somebody, the spirits they have inside of them, the thoughts and desires and everything that's inside of them can transfer over to you. And don't you notice when somebody end up dating a Caucasian person, they always end up changing? They change their political stance. They change the way they view race. They change everything. It's a changing experience. No. And it's not because, they got with somebody now they cannot really, possibly be racist or be, anti-white, you know what I'm saying? Because they're with a white person now. So that's the reason why they're not that way anymore. Because now they can't be with a white person and then say they have issues with white people. Wouldn't even make no sense. No, it's not that. It's a spiritual thing. It is a spiritual encounter that you have with that person. And this is why, brothers and sisters, when you see them get with a white person, I've seen them actually transform right in front of my eyes. Okay, I am not lying. I've seen personal people that I knew that once they laid in bed with that white person, once they got in that bedroom and did the do, they was no longer the same. And that's how I knew it was spiritual. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was spiritual then. I said, no, there was a spiritual transformation that happens when people lay down with the opposition. And when they lay down with our enemies, they pick up the spirit of our enemies. And that's the reason why they can no longer be a part of us. You know what I'm saying? Until they lay that back down, until they get back in bed with a black person and start to replenish their spirit once again with blackness and with the spirit of our ancestors. But see, when they lay down with a white person, they're actually intertwining with the spirits of their ancestors. And we already know what their ancestors were all about. Their ancestors was about raping, killing, and pillaging. And they was very racist. See, I'm not saying that the actual white people today are super, super racist. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure some of them are, but not all of them are that way. So I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, their ancestors were very, very racist and very, very hateful. And that can transfer from them to you because it's still their ancestors. And anybody know when you look at your DNA, the characteristics of your ancestors are in your DNA. So all of those things that, that white person's actual ancestors were doing is inside of them. And it can be inside of you, and it can also transfer inside of your children. Because I have ran into racist mulattoes. You know what I'm saying? All due respect to mixed people, because I have a couple of good friends of mine that are mixed. So it's not a mixed thing. Okay? But I'm telling you that if they have very, 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 very racist ancestors, that can twinkle down. And we know that's for a fact because we can look at old pictures and we can look at our kids and say, oh, you look just like my great-great-grandfather. And the kids come out looking just like their great-great-grandmother. So it skipped 5, 6, 7 generations and now they look just like your great-great-grandmother. Because it's still in your gene. It's still in your code. It's still encoded in your genes. So this is one of the few reasons why I refused, to have children with Caucasian people, because none of my kids is going to be carrying around the spirit of the ancestors that killed my people. They're not going to do that. Okay? Point blank, period. But all in all, just like I said, sex is a spiritual thing. And that's a fact. And that is why Candace Owens is the way she is, because after she laid down with that white man, she picked up those spirits. And his attitude and his spirituality will rub off on her, because majority of white people don't believe in racism. And they don't believe what they did was so damn bad. So, of course, if she laying down with him and she done fell in love with him, she could no longer, he's going to influence her. You know what I'm saying? It's a spiritual bond now. Well, you can't think that way if you're going to be with me. We're not racist. See, I love you, dear. If we was all racist, then why do I love you? Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. So people get persuaded. And it happens to black men too. It don't just happen to black women. It happened to black men too. Because the white woman will tell you, we're not all racist. I know a couple of white women that love black men. You know what I'm saying? And if we were all racist, then why I'd have had 3 kids with you. And I'm not racist. We're not all racist. You know what I mean? So now you're laying in bed with somebody. Not only you're sharing, spiritual spirits with them, you're now exchanging ideas and influences. And this is the reason why when people end up laying down with Caucasian people, everything changes. They can be pro-black one minute. Look what happened to Kanye West. He was pro-black, pumping his fist, college dropout, the whole 9. Now look at him now. White Lives Matter t-shirts, everything. But anyways, and I ain't gonna say accidentally, Candace Owens is Kanye West's sidekick when it comes to this whole, whatever you want to call it, this new idea that the new frontier of racism don't exist, just deny it and act like it's not there. And you guys are bugging out and it's a figment of your imagination. You guys are running around here running from an invisible boogeyman theory is basically what they're trying to throw on us. You know what I'm saying? And that's because they're being influenced by those spirits that those Caucasians carry around with them. And the more they lay down in bed with them, the more deeply spiritual they're going to be with that individual, and they're going to be influenced, in a major way, to the point where they have turned their back, on their people, because they're sharing in those spirits, and they're laying down in the spirits, and they're picking up those white supremacy spirits, and that's what really, and that is really the reason why, Candace Owens is the way she is now, because she laid down and got those, She got those white supremacy spirits on her. It's a spiritual thing. And the only thing that can save her is she has to go and lay down with her brother and start, getting those ancestor spirits back inside of her. You know what I'm saying? And get that white supremacy spirit off of her. Because she's just like any other black person. When they lay down with white people, they change. They turn into a whole different person. I've seen it happen too many times. It's a spiritual thing, people. So be careful to who you lay down with. That's why you don't lay down with your enemies, because you're going to end up picking up their spirits, and you're going to end up picking up that spirit of white supremacy, and you're going to find yourself changing from pro-black to pro-white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? So be careful who you lay down with. Be careful who you have children with, and understand that when you have sex with somebody, okay, it's not just sex. It's a spiritual thing. Like, subscribe, and as always, one love.